Welcome back to Male Choices. Today's topic: why people can't seem to let others live their lives without jumping in with useless criticism. If you like what you hear, be sure to smash that like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell.
One of the biggest lies I used to tell myself, but I thought was the truth when I was single before I got married, was men are intimidated by me. I thought because I had a house, a car, been driving BMW since I was 24 years old, I thought that because I made a lot of money, that men just couldn't handle it, they were intimidated, and they were turned off because I was doing better than them. That is one of the biggest lies, or the things that we think, when really the problem is us. If you find yourself saying, well, men are just intimidated by me, I make too much money, they don't like that I'm just direct and I stand up for myself. If you keep getting that kind of results from men, most likely it's not because they're intimidated, they just don't like you. And I'm not trying to say this to be mean or to be like nasty, but that was what I was going through. They thought I was attractive, they liked being around me, but they just weren't into me because the way that I exuded my ego. A lot of women don't realize when they make money and they have all these accomplishments, the ego drives the conversation. It drives your energy, how you carry yourself, how you interact with men, where your ego is like, well, because you're not on my level, da 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 da. And nobody wants to be treated like that, man or woman. I'll give you guys a perfect example. Girl with the pink dress on Pop the Balloon. A lot of people were like, oh, I like her personality. She seems funny. She seems cool. She even said she was a sweetheart. And all those things can be true. That does not mean that's what's attractive to a man. Ladies, the things that we like about ourselves and the things that we like about our homegirls does not mean that men find that attractive or want that to be what they want in a relationship. And I'm not saying change who you are to appease a man, but if you're not getting the results that you want in the dating sphere and you want to be married, you have to check how you talk to people, how you treat people, the energy you have. Normally it stems from childhood. Normally it stems from being an overachiever. It stems from being somebody that's very type A. It stems from being somebody that is a perfectionist. Normally, when people are like that to themselves, they're hyper critical of other people. So if you tend to have this personality trait where you're very defensive, you're standoffish, you have your guard up 24/7, 365, and you don't know how to let your hair down and have fun and speak to people lightly, gracefully, then you could probably have this problem. So just do some self-reflection, sis. It might not be because he's intimidated. He might just not like you.
So listen up. Men ain't intimidated by women. That's just a convenient lie some women tell themselves to avoid the truth. It's not that guys are scared of so-called strong, independent women. The reality is, men simply don't care about the things women think are so important. Job titles, high salaries, flashy possessions. Sure, women think that their career success makes them more attractive, but men don't value women the same way women value men. A man isn't looking for how much you earn or your corporate ladder status. What we value are things like loyalty, kindness, respect, and emotional support. The moment a woman starts making her career or bank account the center of her personality, she's already lost a lot of guys' interest. That kind of attitude, especially when it's mixed with arrogance or the whole I don't need a man vibe, isn't impressive. Men don't want to compete with their partner. They want peace, companionship, and someone who actually brings value to their life, not someone who's obsessed with out-earning or outshining them. So, no, men aren't avoiding these women out of fear. They're just not interested in dealing with someone who's more focused on themselves than on building a real lasting connection. Men want a partner, not a rival. If women want a lasting relationship, it's about being a good partner, not trying to out-achieve the man. Simple as that.
Single. He's single because his ex never valued clear communication without the use of games or using his vulnerabilities against him. Trust became an issue because he was lied to and disrespected. He was made to feel like anything that he did would never be good enough because what he did do was never appreciated. And not only was it not appreciated, it was criticized far too often. And at the time, yeah, he thought that he could change a few things to make her happy. But then he found out pretty quickly that she was never going to be happy. Him giving in just became a habit because she wanted to control him rather than love him for who he was. Him prioritizing her and doing things for her time and time again became a one-way street. His peace was constantly sacrificed without any kind of reciprocation. So let's be clear, he's not single because something's wrong with him. He's single because he thought he loved and cared for a woman.
All right, listen up. Put your pride and arrogance to the side, both guys and gals, and start treating others the way you want to be treated. Only then can you enter into something that's truly mutually respectful and uplifting. Marriage? It's hard work. So don't expect some fairy tale, endless bliss scenario. You're burning through that initial rocket fuel quickly, and when it's gone, all that's left is who that person really is at their core. Here's the deal. Use your brain. This is common sense, but it's advice a lot of people just waste. Eventually, guys hear the same thing enough times and realize it's time to move on. That's why so many men are walking away from the dating world. You've got two choices. Either you self-isolate because you feel like society's pushing you aside, or you accept the reality and just find contentment in your own life. Here's the kicker. A lot of women today don't want to face the fact that they made bad decisions. They refuse to accept that they wasted their prime years, and the reality is coming back to hit them hard. But let's be real. You should have seen this coming from a mile away.
40-year-old men at.
Where are the men that actually care about emotional connection? Like, where? Where are they?
Men and women were asked if they got 80% of everything they want in their ideal mate, would they be happy with that? And women said, no, that's settling.
Where are the men?
You can call me a simp, whatever you want, but look at that woman!
Where are the men?
I'm here.
We live in a world where every move could be plastered all over social media. One misstep, one misunderstood approach, and you're the villain in someone's viral story, being used for attention or clout, or worse, as a tool to prop up their feminist agenda. They can shame you with your name, picture, or video, or so they feel better about themselves. The fear of this happening, that's enough to make men hold back. Fear and respect, they go hand in hand in nature. You respect the predator enough not to approach it in the wild because you know the consequences. The same thing applies here in the social world. You take one wrong step, and it can cost you your reputation, finances, or even your freedom. Dating apps are a vicious cycle, especially for men. They spam women with messages, which leads women to ignore or miss good matches, making men spam even more. It's a never-ending loop. Platforms like Tinder play games with users, showing your profile less and less unless you keep paying for premium. Men get trapped thinking they're getting something out of it, but they're just feeding into a system designed to exploit them. It's predatory. The reality is, online dating leaves little room for conversation or real interaction. It's all about stats, income, height, weight. None of that matters when you're face-to-face with someone, but apps reduce you to a few numbers and a photo. So, men end up competing for the top 1% of women, getting ignored, and then wondering why they don't have any success. But in the real world, they'd never approach that woman to begin with. Men are realizing the juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore. Women are competing for the top guys, but those guys don't even want them. Men now have standards too. They want feminine, traditional women who bring value to a relationship. If women don't need a man, fine. They can have meaningless hookups, but the truth is, real men with standards are done playing that game.
Not be nonchalant to bad bitches. I had an ex who literally used to spoil me so much. He paid all my rent, my bills, everything. But when I broke up with him, because I don't need the money at the end of the day if you're doing too much. If you're not acting right. He said, okay, well then go find your millionaire boyfriend then. Go find another. Go find someone who's going to treat you the way I did. You know how long that took? A month. A month. I don't know why men think that they're the prize.
Where's the baddie in the room? Because I don't see her. Yeah, such a baddie that she can get a man, but she can't keep a man. You claim that you're a baddie, but aren't baddies independent, can pay for their own shit, but then you have men paying your bills, spoiling you, and treating you a certain way, but then you try to backpedal and say that you don't need his money. Okay. It literally makes no sense because she says that she doesn't need the money, but then she turned around and found a man that was still paying her bills. Make that make sense. But then you think that you're gonna one-up this nonchalant man by basically admitting to the internet that you found a new man within a month, so you pretty much sleep around. Ooh, damn, you showed him. Imagine getting on the internet and admitting that you sleep around for money, but yet you don't think the man that you had was the prize. Okay. You really showed that good guy that took care of you that he was doing too much, that he's really missing out. And fellas, let this be your lesson to not pay a woman's bills unless she's in an exclusive relationship with you or she's married to you. Stop paying these women's bills that pretty much know that you ain't shit and they don't value you, respect you, or appreciate you and think that the grass is greener.
Oh, so she broke up with him, huh? Sounds like the typical situation where a guy finally realizes he's being played. When he decides to step back and focus on himself, suddenly he's labelled as nonchalant or emotionally unavailable. But let's be real. What she's seeing is a man who knows his worth, someone who's walking away from a situation that doesn't serve him. A strong man isn't going to stick around just to be someone's backup plan or emotional crutch. The real issue, she's not looking for love or a genuine connection. She's looking for a sponsor. She wants a guy to fund her lifestyle, provide the perks, and give her stability without offering much in return. And that's exactly why so many men are opting out of marriage these days. Men are waking up to the fact that it's not about love anymore. It's about being a provider, a walking ATM. No man wants to be stuck in a one-sided relationship where he's just there to fill a bank account while getting nothing back. And here's the kicker. Thanks to social media and dating apps, women like her can pull in all the attention they want. DMs full of, hey, beautiful and thirsty comments, sure. But attention is easy to get. Commitment? Now that's a whole different story. She can rack up likes and compliments, but can she actually get a man to commit? That's where the game changes. Men aren't signing up to be someone's meal ticket anymore. They want a partner, not a dependent. So when she can't lock down a real commitment, it's not because men are intimidated by her so-called independence. It's because they see through the act. They know she's more interested in what they can provide than who they are. So yeah, he walked away. Not because he's nonchalant, but because he's smart. He realized he'd be doing all the giving, and any man with self-respect is going to pass on that deal.
Men. Ladies, the reason that no man is approaching you is because of you, not them. I did the dirty work and asked men why they were afraid to talk to you and got over 5,000 responses. And there was definitely a common theme. Let's read some. I would say fear of rejection and being humiliated in front of everyone. I am not worthy enough to talk to women. I just have nothing to offer them except boring, normal life. Rejection paralyzes me. Current culture feels like I will be perceived as a creep for talking to a girl I don't know. Mostly it's the fear of rejection, like I'm bothering them somehow. Rejection maybe. Ending up on TikTok if you get my drift. Worried about being judged for not meeting the woman's appearance standards. So to the ladies, do better. The environment that you've created for men is only leading to the singleness that you continue to complain about. And to the men, maybe knowing that these responses were a trend amongst 5,000
Guys today are straight up avoiding approaching women because they're worried women will make a scene or act out. It's gotten to the point where a lot of men just steer clear entirely. Why? It's all over social media. Videos of women talking about how much they hate being approached, or how they dislike men in general. This has turned into a default setting for a lot of guys. The reality is that men and women are designed to interact, but women's over-the-top reactions have made it a risk. It's like men have finally had enough of it. Society has shifted to the point where men are now holding back because they've been burned too many times by women who take male attention for granted. That needs to change. Women have to realize that their behavior has consequences, and if they want genuine interaction, they need to stop treating every approach as a problem.
What's your age?
27.
29. How long you been together?
About 7 months.
Yes. If he were to propose to you, what's the most he should spend on a wedding ring?
I wouldn't want him.
Can I tell you? Can I speak?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
You mind if I take the mic?
Well, can I just tell you, I don't want you to spend a certain...
Oh, that's not what I was going to say, babe.
Okay.
She's already showed me her dream ring. Dude, $3,000. Even if it was 10, 20, I'd buy it. This girl is so, say humble. I don't like the word low maintenance. She's very humble. And she's not hard to please. She's not materialistic. It's funny. We actually were looking at the ring earlier today. $3,000, bro. Why not shoot for the moon? I mean, the man is telling you right now, if it's 20, 25, he's willing to put himself in debt to get there.
A ring, it's nice, but a ring is just a symbol. Personally, I don't like diamonds. I like gemstones, and they happen to be a lot cheaper than diamonds. He could spend like $200, like go to the pawn shop. I don't care.
So it don't matter if it's pre-owned?
No, absolutely not.
This is refreshing to hear. A woman who's not hung up on materialism and genuinely values the meaning behind the ring rather than the price tag. The guy's ready to go all out, even putting himself in debt to make her happy, but she's grounded, saying that a $200 ring would be just fine. She's proving that it's not about the cost or the flash, but about the relationship and what it represents. That's the kind of partner you want. Someone who values the bond over the bling. A humble, low-maintenance approach like hers is rare, and it speaks volumes about her character.